Good evening, and welcome to Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we are joining a group of vampires, some new to the city, some who have been here for some time. They've been called to a sort of improvised Elysium, so to speak. It's a older manor, historical building, normally closed for the night. Tonight the signs say private party, as the head of the Nosferatu, or at least the public head, as it is, Detlov has requested this gathering, and the Seneschal, Victor Mihai, has agreed to act as lead of the Elysium, so to speak, put out the call and invited kindred to come to this manor and see what particular matters the Nosferatu have that are so pressing they have asked for outside help. Something that's relatively unheard of typically. As you guys would be arriving, there's a number of kindred milling about already. The Ventru have a presence there. One of the Toreador, believe it or not, has bothered to come see what the Nosferatu are getting into. The Tremere Marty is present. He's common at these sorts of things. And then among the Bruja, there's a presence as well. In this case, the journalist Tian is present. All of you have gotten directed to this place through, whether that's through an existing contact in the city or just through the proper channels on your way in. And have been informed that this would be an appropriate place to make a formal introduction and kind of get the lay of the land. The gentleman at the door is a fairly lean, muscular, younger man with a couple of scars and a leather jacket on. Avalon would know him as Jules, the scourge of the city.
Okay.
Well, if nobody else is going to come up, so up to wherever cars can be parked or wherever it is, a tiny little Peugeot 206, small little car will pull up. Niall will get out, flick the back of his spiked up hair and put the bowler hat back down on it and adjust his leather jacket and scurry over, jumping over the car rim and open the door for his companion very politely, bowing low and giving a big quirky grin on his face.
Of course, getting out the other side, also donning a leather jacket. It's pretty, inverted commas, alternative kind of style. It gets out, the bright blue hair matching almost the color of the car, it seems. She gets out with a nice big smile on her face. There's some idle chattering between the two as they begin to walk up towards the door, or the main direction in which people have been flowing in.
Come up with the to the guy with the big scars and stuff. We go, "Hello, mate. I am Niall. This is Ivy. I believe we're late for the party, I think. Is that right? Are we late? Are we late?
He just kind of looks the two of you over and he says, well, I don't recognize either of you. That can be a good thing or a bad thing. But I believe the formal discussion hasn't begun, so it's still a social hour. Feel free to head on in.
Formal discussion. Well, fuck me sideways, Ivy. Fuck me.
See, we're right on time. Don't worry about it. I told you not to worry about it.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
we had to make. Yeah, all right. Just walks in.
Just a bright, that nice smile as you walk past, like, oh. He'll go on in.
Inside, it's early 19th or 20th century European decor, but they most of the social or the gatherings taking place in like a sitting room, parlor type, and there's a couple milling about. That's where you would find Detlef, the Nosferatu. Victor's in there as well. The curtains are heavy curtains, obviously covering the windows, so no one's peering in.
So as now sees this big grandiose type of room, he'll turn to Ivy and go, well, fuck me, love. This is like the fucking Royal Palace over again. See, this is why we came to Amsterdam, love. Prince Philip, you see. King and Queen, that type of vibe.
Oh yeah, no, well, what else did you expect? What else did you expect? Oh yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I like it.
Oh, no, look at it. It's fancy. Van Gogh, love. I like that shit. He's walking, like, staring up at the ceiling.
Van Gogh. Never know your obsession with Van Gogh. Either way, are there any drinks? Just kind of whirls around looking for, are there any drinks by any chance?
They do have a couple of, believe it or not, silver and crystal pitchers that are sitting in like a basin of ice that have blood in. But they do not seem to have any fresh stuff, as it were.
She'll kind of whirl around so they're almost back to back, leaning over that little bit. Just she is a considerable amount shorter than he is. Lean up towards him. Well, usual routine as it is, I'll make sure that we've got at least a little something to hold on to. Got to be social, Niall.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, yeah. Is there a drink?
Don't you remember that? I'll sort that. You just keep smiling.
Yeah. He does the kind of big cheesy grin, like, hello. Doing the awkward handshakes with anybody, he seems really enthusiastic, but really twitchy at the same time, like kicking his fingers a bit.
Yeah, and then Ivy will disengage and make her way over towards these beautiful silver goblets. Getting one for herself and one for Niall.
And they don't, they're don't have anyone directly attending to them when you get over there, but they do seem to have somebody keeping them filled.
She'll make her way over, look down at them, just kind of do the thing of look at the person tending to them, look down, look back up, point down, the kind of half smile. Slowly pick two up. And if no objection, of course, just turn around and start making our way back over to Niall.
And you don't get any objections. Everyone seems to be kind of going about the same way.
Once I take the glass off Ivy, I will stick out the pinky finger because we have to keep it professional here. Just look at Ivy to make sure he did it right as well, and just sage nod to himself like, yeah, no, I did that right. Look around again, make sure everybody saw that he did it right, and just take a drink very casually.
For quite a large gathering, it's awfully quiet in here.
Yeah, but it's suspense, love. That's the whole point. You got to bring them in like fish, love. And then when they're in, you do the big reveal. There's no point in giving the big reveal when everybody's not here yet.
Yeah, no.
We're early.
Yeah, that makes a first.
I know.
Yeah.
That's because of the Peugeot, love. It's because of the Peugeot.
Yeah. You know what, Lil? It's fine. I like it. It's not as good as the Mini, but I like it.
It'll never be good as the Mini. All right, we don't talk about the Mini. It just looks off to the side.
It's actually nice to get here early for one thing. That's completely different than normal, but I'm not stressing. Smiles, sips drink.
The couple other people are, do start to talk. Obviously, they took notice of a couple of new people that none of them recognize, but they do pick up their conversations a little bit more. Kind of small groups here and there.
Milan probably walks in around this point and scans the room, not really recognizing anyone except. Did you say Marty was there?
Yep.
So he probably walks. He's going to walk over and say hi to Marty.
And Marty starts talking to you a bit. He's going to discuss kind of some of these ongoing mysteries and stuff, especially the ones spilling into the mortal side of things. And he says it's a shame, but it's good for business. Being an independent consultant means every call is a paycheck.
Always need those. So what's going on here tonight?
He got his walking stick and he kind of points it over to the Nosferatu and he says, well, it seems something's not quite right in some of Detlav's domain, and bad enough that the people he had investigating it are no longer doing so. And so he's asked for some reinforcements, offering some favors and boons.
I'm all for favors and boons.
He nods and says, I am as well, although dying in a smelly hole is not high on my list.
Out of character. Milan has met Avalon before, right?
Yes.
I think in the last run. Is Avalon in here
Yes. Not quite yet, no.
Okay.
But yes, you've met Avalon.
I don't think I've met any of the others. So Milan will get a drink and then just kind of hang out and watch the room.
Avalon is going to walk up to the door and she'll give Jules a friendly smile and a nod. Anything exciting going on down there yet?
He says, nothing specific today, but anytime the Nosferatu invite you over and offer to let you into their secrets, something's either very good or very bad.
Yeah, I must agree. She'll just smile and chuckle again, and she'll head on in. Look around.
Well, inside you would see, and you know Marty as well. But you would recognize Milan. You did not see any of the gangrel present tonight. At least not yet. See if any of the other ones are. Not a lot of the usual crowd. Seems to be kind of more of a city side of things.
Right.
OC question, John. Would I be arriving with my family member in town, or would I be coming alone to represent the family?
He would probably send you here. This is one of the not my concerns things.
Okay.
So you are free to arrive on your own.
So I assume she will have taken Uncle Arthur's car to it, because why not?
Yeah, he would rather probably assign you a driver.
So when she arrives, she'll go to the door, she'll give her name, and she'll introduce herself and be like, I should be on the list.
And Jules looks at you and he says, yes, I'm well aware of who you are. Well, head on in.
Thank you. And as soon as she's in, she will take a drink and she will take a spot to watch the crowds, fidgeting with an opal brooch as she does.
All right.
Milan gives Marty the nod, indicating that he's walking off, and saunters over to Avalon.
Oh, Avalon will glance over at Milan and smile. Well,
Good to
how do
see
you
you.
do? How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Don't really know anybody here.
You too. This is a interesting crowd. She kind of like looks over all the people in the room. I don't recognize faces, but not a lot of them. It's quite a few new people here. So, any idea on what exactly is going on? It's not too often that we get invited to these parts.
Yeah, I was just asking the same thing. We don't really know a whole lot about what's going on. It sounds like there've been some investigations that didn't really go anywhere, and yada yada. Here we are.
Wait, that initiation? That raises some red flags.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
And as you guys are kind of mingling about, Victor kind of raises one hand, kind of steps to the doorway, and he says, "First and foremost, on behalf of Prince Gunnar, the Jarl of Amsterdam, I would like to thank you all for coming out tonight. It's unusual for us to hold an Elysium in the city. This is not his typical arena, and so he has asked me to stand in on his behalf. The gathering was requested by Detlov here of Clan Nosferatu, and I will let him go into the details of why. But we want to at least make sure we handle any other business of relevance tonight. The prince is actively engaged in a political and territorial conflict. In particular, he has brought to attention the increase of lupines to the city, so be aware that they may be hunting us more actively. They're never our friends, but it's a possibility that they're putting forth some active effort. The matter of the child vampires has not been resolved yet. We have estimates of between 5 and 7 child vampires. We did even have some reports that could correlate with activity by a child vampire submitted to the Mortal Constabulary, which fortunately for us, investigator Marty was able to address before it got out of hand. As none of these child kindred have come forth with sponsors, the prince is therefore declaring the offer of amnesty over. Any child vampire should be treated as a masquerade breach and eliminated, as should any of those who can be definitively proven to have created such a creature. Beyond that, the only other business the prince has is in the religious conflict. He points out that while he does not agree with or adhere to any particular faith, his native faith correlates most with those labeled pagan. However, he does not wish conflict with the church, as historically that ends poorly for both pagans and vampires. So he recommends that kindred try to minimize their involvement, certainly avoid physical conflict, and understand that we will not collectively be taking a stance to support one side or the other. What you do individually is your own business. If there are any questions on these matters, I can attempt to answer those to the best of my ability. Otherwise, I'll turn the floor over to Detlov. He kind of looks around just to make sure there's not any questions. And while he does so, a Korean man comes in and fairly boisterous, loud. He kind of hustles in. He says, "All right, I get what you're talking on, but I got some questions here. We're staying out of these fights, all that jazz. I'm all for that, but I got boys itching for fights. So, what are we gonna do about that? We got these lupines, werewolves. You know what I'm talking about. They free game. We open season. I know Prince got himself a history, but if they're hunting us, we hunt them, or what's the stance there?" We're talking about child vampires. We're going to be running around beating up little kids. That ain't going to look good either. Marty's going to have himself more paperwork. We start throwing hands on little kids in the park. I mean, you want these issues dealt with. We're concerned about it. I'm all for it. But my boy's just itching to take a couple swings. We gotta have some parameters here. And of course, everyone's kind of looking at him. You'll notice the Ventru woman present is kind of shaking her head. The Toreador are both rubbing their foreheads. And Marty says, "I do appreciate your concern for my workload and paperwork." At which point, Victor says, "As far as actively hunting werewolves, we don't recommend it. The prince does have some history with some of them. Most of us are not equipped to discern which faction these werewolves might be with. Obviously, in the interest of self-defense, you can act, but we would discourage active hunting. It wouldn't do to be out there and send out a group after a friend of the prince's. That wouldn't end well. As far as active hunting of the child vampires and their creators, we'll let Jules as our scourge speak to that." Jules kind of comes in, leans in the front door. "Don't get seen, don't get caught, don't make a mess. I don't really care how you do it. I don't really care what you do with them. Obviously, if you are going to enact the rite of amaranth on them, which the prince has authorized, it'd be best to do it with some witnesses so we can verify who in fact you devoured. Common sense here. Someone shows up showing those signs, Marty sniffs it out, we ask questions. No way to correlate your claim. It could get ugly." On the matter of the church versus these pagans, I've studied with the church. I know how they hunt. We're better off not screwing with them. Victor will kind of clap his hands once and will say, "Well, that should provide some easy answers for you, Mr. Kim. Sir, any other questions?" Excellent. I love when these are efficient meetings. They make my job so much easier. I'll turn the floor over then to Mr. Detlov of Clan Nosferatu. And Victor steps back, and he actually pulls out like a small pocket notebook and pen as Detlov comes up. And Detlov, he's kind of leaning against a couch. He looks around. kind of clears his throat. Looks like he's looking for something to, like, spit, like a spittoon or something. Then he kind of looks again and he says, right, well then. Not real good at this whole fancy talk. My business is business. Couple of problems going on interfering with our business. Keep it simple. The one I'm concerned with right now. The sewers are our territory. Always have been. The prince respects that and supports it. However, somebody's in our sewers. I don't know who, because when I sent some of our animalistic friends, they didn't come back. So I sent a couple of young fellas I recruited, mortal servitors. They didn't come back. Well, at this point I'm getting a little concerned, so we picked one of our number who's not real commonly seen in the public. And then he kind of chuckles and says, not that any of us are. But you get the drift. And I sent him. And, well, I'm willing to bet you figured out the pattern by now, because here we are. He didn't come back. So I'm currently down 1 Nosferatu Childer, 2 Nosferatu ghouls, and a handful of animal servitors. And I still don't know what the hell else is in my sewers, other than there's a section of them that I'm not going in by myself, because I'm losing assets there already.
At this point, Scarlet will raise one of her very nicely manicured hands and be like, perhaps you need a scout that cannot be hit.
I think we need more than just a scout. I think we need some shit figured out and some shit dealt with. I understand there was already a group in the sewers not too long ago. Didn't get a lot of details but apparently, best we can tell from our animal spies, at least one of them was a kindred.
His hand just shoots up like, oh, well, if it's that, then it sounds could be Sabat. So I'm assuming you need us, since we are the benefacto clients in this whole arrangement, to do the job for you, I guess. Gives a smile.
Scarlet has looked over at him very curiously now.
After all, us clients are the bread and butter of this fine society. Smiles, puffs up his chest like, ha-ha! And grins.
He says, well, what I need is this matter resolved while minimizing costs to myself, because as I said, I'm a business. And it is a lot cheaper for me to pay the lot of you, whoever decides to take me up on the offer, to investigate this and resolve it, than it is for me to continue investing my own resources directly. So
That's what I said, mate. You need the cleats to do it because you're the big elder and we're the cleats, mate. Just sage nod. Guidelines, mate. I get it. You're fine. Don't worry. Gives him the thumbs up.
what I can tell you is, for whoever is able to at least identify what is causing these issues, what has claimed part of our sewers, we will be granting a number of benefits. First and foremost, of course, is going to be maps and access to that region. There's not maps and access as in just for this event. That will be an extended maps and access. For those who are able to identify that, we will also provide a minor boon. There'll be a minor boon on behalf of Clan Nosferatu. For anyone who not only identifies the problem but resolves it, we will grant access to that region of the sewers. We will turn over maps. We will grant them a major boon. And they will also be provided advance notice of any activity we perform in that region. We would therefore effectively make them one of the make it that region a shared domain with them. For anyone who's paying attention, Victor is writing all this down.
Scarlett's now paying full attention.
Last and of course not least is whatever the hell is found there. Should the issue be resolved, we would be willing to split any assets or resources that are recovered, whether they be ours or anyone else's, with the parties involved. Should a group resolve this collectively, the boon and domain control would be turned over to the group collectively, treated as if they were a formal coterie. For those who are interested in pursuing this, I can provide maps tonight of the region, as well as access to, a close approximation of the tunnels.
Nala proudly parts his way through the crowd, probably taking Ivy by the hand, and just like stands there like a fucking, Queen's Guard, essentially. Like, takes off the bowler hat and everything.
Well, we'd definitely be interested.
Oh yeah. Sewers, love them. Can't live without them, mate.
He kind of looks at you and turns around. You notice on one of the tables there's a kind of like a stack of papers, and he pulls a couple of them off and says, well, here's a map for each of you. Some basic notes on the surrounding sewers and what you should be able to expect in that region as far as equipment, function. There's minimal lighting in parts of it. I apologize for that.
Scarlett has very quietly joined them and then muttered, well, it's not the worst place I've gone.
Might I ask what kind of animals you sent down there that didn't come back?
He kind of starts laughing and he says, this isn't the movies, dear. We don't have alligators in the sewers. We sent a number of rats. When those didn't return, we did try a couple of cats too, thinking perhaps a small predator would be sufficient.
Nod. Okay.
Looks at Holly. You coming?
Avalon will nod. Yeah, I'm coming.
All right. Walks over to everybody else who's congregating.
Oh, mate. No, waves as he's opening the map, like examining it, like, ooh.
You're a little bundle of energy, aren't you?
Oh, well, of course not. You've got to be bright about and happy about your job. Otherwise, what's the point in doing it? You have to be. What the fuck is that? You know, just leans forward. Otherwise, well, then everything will go to pot then and it'll be chaos and chaos. Guidelines, you see. Taps his temple, side of his temple. So, are we all going as a team then, or is it just me and Ivy, or is it we're all separating off? Or what's happening? What are we doing?
I don't mind playing your support. She'll smile at Ivy and then him.
Oh, wow. Looks at Ivy.
I'm really more of a team player.
Hey, well, there's nothing wrong with all of us little going out, like making friends and all. It'd be good, It's only the sewers. It's not that bad.
I'll be fine, love.
Plus, look at this. We got a map. A map. It's never that bad when you've got a map.
Oh, no. So, who wants to drive with us? We've got a Peugeot. It's a bit squeezy, but it's fine. It's fine. It's a Peugeot. Peugeot's the most reliable car in the world, mate.
Scarlett will raise her hand and she goes, how about we take the car I came in? There should be plenty of room for all of us.
I'll take the Peugeot, love. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just gives her a thumbs up. But the offer's appreciated. It's appreciated.
Very well,
Sage nods.
man.
We gotta go across the city for this, or is how just kind of pulls up the map, turns it around, looks around. It's like completely. I have no idea. Like, this is a map. I don't know what to do with my hands. Ugh.
There's and you can tell there's a couple of entrance points that shouldn't be too far from where you're at.
Oh, no, got it. The key was on the back. Found it. Oh, yeah. Oh, we gotta drive. That's okay. All right. Sweet. That's fantastic. Well, I guess we'll meet you all there. That is where we're going, right?
I'm assuming so.
Yes. I cannot speak for him. She says, looking over at Milan.
Yeah, I'm going. If rides are involved, I'll go with you.
There should be plenty of room, whoever needs a ride and doesn't wish cramped spaces. She looks at Neal and Ivy when she says that.
Oh, well, if you don't mind getting up and cozy, that's fine. It's fine. Just grin at
That would
Ivy.
be improper. You're not my husband.
Gives it like a tilt of the head. Whoa. Well,
Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't even introduce ourselves properly. Hi, I'm Ivy. And this is Niall.
Ivy what?
Ivy Palmer.
She'll actually, like, instead of shaking though, she'll shake Neal's hand, but she'll kiss Ivy's. And she'll be like, I'm Scarlett Duncern. A pleasure to meet you.
Oh no, the pleasure's all mine.
no, Reeve, love.
A pleasure.
Everyone will just smile and glance at them.
Well, you can call me Scarlett or the Madame. That's what most people in the family call me.
Madame? All right.
Madame?
Nice.
Fancy. I like it. It's fancy. It's got that, a little bit of, class to it. I like that.
Yeah. Regality. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll look over at Avalon and she goes, I don't believe I caught your name, miss.
She'll smile.
Well then, shall we go and meet there, I guess?
Well, Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's go. Madame, he does the big theatrical bow.
Alright, so you guys are all kind of heading out.
What about now?
She'll be nice to Niall as they leave and give him a little quick curtsy and then step out. And that was much better, Holly.
Okay. She did say that her name was. She said that her name was Avalon Flynn. I'm sure that's where it cut out.
Okay, so Niall and Ivy are taking their own vehicle. Are Avalon and Milan riding with me, or are they taking their own also?
Or are they coming with us?
I'm gonna ride.
Avalon
With
doesn't drive.
Oh yeah, no, Niall and Ivy have offered if people want to jump in with them.
But they did warn it was going to be cramped.
I mean, the word it would be cramped, but it's still pretty much there. It's a functional car. You can even see it. Now it just opens the passenger doors. He's obviously putting on fucking big actual proper boots to be going around trudging the sewer in. So it's not the smallest car in the world.
Those fold down seats and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Scarlett's going to walk right past them and go over to, I'm assuming is from Uncle Arthur, a limo, since he's supposed to be a bigwig.
He just turns to the other two and is like, there's a back seat. It's nice seats if you want it. Or if you want it. Well, if there's a fucking limo. So I've never been in a fucking limo before, but it's a fucking limo. But this is a Peugeot.
What do you think of limo?
You roboted there a little.
Don't you think a limo will cause some I don't
Suspicion?
know, people wanting to see?
That is true. I don't think the driver thought of that when he brought me.
Don't get me wrong, it's a nice limo, but I think it may be a bit much and get some attention.
You see? And the best thing is, nobody expects the French. Just pats the car.
She'll open the limo door long enough to throw her high heels into it, and then go over to the two Mouse vehicle and tell the driver if she's not back by dawn, send someone to find them.
All right. Everybody squeezes in the limo. Well, now turns to Ivy going, do you want me to put on your tunes, love?
Hold on. So, are we getting the fucking Peugeot?
Sorry. Peugeot, yeah.
What's Milan doing? What you doing, Milan?
I'm getting in with everybody else.
Beautiful.
Well,
Right,
so we're squeezing in.
I guess.
Oh yeah, all in the back seat. And then he'll turn very casually and be like, do you want me to put in your tunes, love, to Ivy?
Yeah. I put something on.
So I'll put the song in the slide chat there. And Niall cranks it up to its full volume, full on the stereo, and just accelerates.
Scarlet winces a little as she's tucking her the bottom of her dress into what appears to be a pair of shorts she had on under it.
And before the ST takes over, if you guys want, you can make a perception alertness roll as we're driving there.
Sure.
So whoever succeeded, you have been going around in circles for the past 4 turns. Like it's like about 10 minutes have gone by and you've got past the same block twice.
I don't notice.
We being followed?
What, mate?
You being followed?
Oh no, I just gotta check, mate. You gotta always check for that. It's a high conspicuous operation we're doing. We're coming out of this place, the big place, and we're all driving around in a city that we don't really know. And he's mentioned lupines, he's mentioned turn, he's mentioned baby vampires, he's mentioned all sorts of horrible things. Guidelines, mate, you gotta check. See, now I know we're not being followed now because who would follow the man going around in a circle? Who would do that?
The police.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
I don't think they're too worried
They
about us tonight.
See? Makes perfect sense.
Now we're completely inconspicuous. And he starts driving the right way then.
All right. It didn't take long before you get to basically a small, like, not even a park, but like a green space, and then there's a utility building, public bathrooms, and the utility closet type, and there's a note on the map that utility closet is left open during certain periods, including tonight, to allow access.
Yeah. Skids to a halt. The music immediately cuts off, and now gets out of the car very casually. Walks over to the boot, takes out a flashlight, puts on gloves and a crowbar.
Clicks open her purse, pulls out a pair of sneakers, and goes, I should have brought boots. Not what I was expecting. Puts them on and moves to carry a silver, very ornate looking lighter in her hand.
Ivy goes around the back to the car, like Niall in the boot, rummaging around a few little things, pulls out, swaps her shoes to from boots to more rugged boots. It pulls out, probably grabs hold of like one of the spare crowbars or something. That's about it.
Mom gets out of the car, sees everyone putting on boots, and says, "Fuck."
If it makes you feel any better,
Avalon just kind of glances at him and says, I don't have boots either. And she kind of just pulls up her skirt and starts tucking one side into the band.
yeah, Scarlett literally finishes putting her last sneaker on and goes, I'm gonna need new shoes after this.
Yeah. Should always bring boots. Never know when you'll need them. Never know.
I guess I should tell Uncle to go to his own parties next time then, huh?
Bet that'll go down well. It's kind of like,
Well, it depends if you believe the stereotypes or not.
Well, maybe next time I'll remember. I'll put some boots in the back.
Maybe next time we could go somewhere nicer than the sewers. Like a library.
I do like libraries.
Yeah, I'm
Like
for
what?
libraries too.
Well, that's it. We're gonna have a nice little team building exercise in the library now. That's it. I've decided. That's what's happening. One day, I'm getting in on that.
As she's standing up, she's making sure her dress is tucked into the shorts completely, and you will notice she actually has a small 9mm also strapped to her thigh. So I'm ready when you are.
She finishes tucking in the bottom part of her skirt into the band of it, and she's like, well, I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be.
Where are your
Oh, I'm
weapons?
ready. I'm ready. Got the flashlight and Old Faithful. Taps the crowbar.
I mean, I've got. She like holds her lighter up and taps her pistol. I've got both my weapons out, just in case we run into something. Or wait,
But yeah, he'll turn.
Go ahead.
He'll turn to Avalon. Do you need one, like a weapon, love?
Maybe the muscly guy is her bodyguard, and she kind of like motions at Milan.
Well, I'm pretty sure we could fish
I'm
out.
perfectly well equipped to handle myself. I appreciate it, though. And she
Well,
kind of smirks.
All right. No, just thought it'd be polite. After all, just making sure everybody's all good,
I
all
do-
part of the guidelines. Gives a smile.
As my character, I keep having to because they're cracking me up, stupid Malkavian.
So is
You
this
guys,
entryway, is it like a doorway going into something, or is it, what is that situation?
yeah. So there's a like a little service building, like you'd see at a park with, bathrooms, water fountain, and then there's like a utility door.
All right, and it's unlocked?
Yes.
Okay.
Sighs
Yeah.
before they
so
go in.
we descend.
Yeah, and like as they're descending, Scarlett's muttering, "I'm doing this for my family. I love my family. I'm doing this for my family."
Niall is whistling "Come on, Eileen" as we're going down lower.
If it's dark at all when we get in there, Milan activates his Auspex for the heightened senses for his
I would. I'll
eyesight.
do the same. I'll do the same for since I have a flashlight. I'll do it for hearing instead.
I'm activating my. I activated my claws, dude.
Okay.
It's down in there.
I'll go ahead and activate Potence also.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It is dimly lit, so it doesn't hurt to have the additional lighting, certainly. And as you guys head in, it's a like a service tunnel, so you can walk upright, but it's not real spacious. Probably goes in about maybe 30, 40 feet before it starts to split.
Well, does the map say which way to go down here, or should we find a scouting way?
Follow the map, I think. Like, looking down at the map, looking at which entrance, looking at that entrance, probably holding the flashlight so the group can get a better look at it as well, kind of zooming in on it.
Are you sure you're not holding this upside down?
I am pretty sure I'm not holding it up. Wait. Turns to the side. No, I'm not holding it upside down. We're fine, love. And yeah, Niall will proceed to follow the map.
She kind of like is staring at Niall's back before she leans over to Ivy and says, as his, I'm assuming babysitter, just give the word and I'll send a scout ahead one of these paths.
He's fine. He knows what he's doing.
She'll just nod as if she's talking to two children.
Oh, you don't have faith in him?
I do not have faith in anyone I've just met.
Well, you know what? I will give you that one. But you know, if you want to send a scout out, you know, I'm not going to. I'm not going to stop you. I think it'd be quite good if you can do that thing. She kind of like wiggles her fingers, like.
She'll lovingly caress her opal brooch. John, that'll be my symbol that she's sending Mother ahead.
Okay.
You can make it as I don't know if it would even be visible to any of them.
Probably not, since they're technically still would be in the Shadowlands.
Very well. One of two has been sent.
Great. Wonderful. Nice. It's kind of, you see Ivy looking around on the floor, like she's looking for something. Looks around a little bit. Doesn't see anything. Well, let's carry on then, shall we?
Lead the way.
Oh, there's a half smirk as she looks back, seeing that the other two are still there, hopefully.
Of course.
Well,
I guess with maps and compasses, I'd get us all lost in a heartbeat.
you see, that's why I like honesty. I like it. I like you, Milan. That's good. Anyway, guess we're going this way. Niall! Niall!
Turns around. Yeah, love. Still, leading the way. You can tell he's always looking back to double checking that you all are there. He turns. Shh. What, love?
I'm just getting a bit far away, that's all.
Yeah, we'll keep up then, love. Come on.
Keeping up, we were talking.
Yeah, well, less talking, more.
Yes,
It echoes off the walls, love. I can hear yous.
All right. All right.
They always echo, love. Come on.
Then Ivy will firmly clamp her mouth shut and carry on following.
Poor Ivy.
Anne is following, but she's listening very closely for any sounds down here that don't belong to the group.
And Scarlett's focusing mainly on the link between Mother and her.
It is, as you guys continue, it's extremely quiet, unusually so, matter of fact. And you will, fairly, probably within 5 minutes, you get to a point where there's fewer and fewer lights. The tunnels are not quite as effective moving wise. It starts getting harder to maneuver, and you guys are kind of down to like a single file.
This does this path look like it's fairly well traveled? Are there tracks or anything?
For a service tunnel, it's pretty clear, so it's hard to say. It's not like it's dusty or anything, so there's nothing real obvious for you to be able to identify.
Okay.
It's quiet. So as we're getting closer and closer, is there any sound of scurrying animals, or is it like, or as we're kind of moving our way awkwardly through to single file, like, are we seeing anything distinctive? Anything like, what is the layout of the sewers looking at apart from getting more narrow? Like, what am I seeing in terms of the ground, on the things on the walls? What am I seeing?
It's still pretty bare. There's a lot of utility. Let's say like utility equipment. You can see fiber optic cables strung along there. There's pipes. But it's a pretty empty otherwise. Not seeing any sign of animals really. And not seeing much in the way of debris either. It looks to be pretty well maintained.
And how far are we map-wise, from what I can tell? Are we from where we're meant to be, where the trouble's been starting, from what I can judge based off the map?
You are at basically the edge of the area in question.
And then when they get to the edge, he'll stop and like hold up his hand so everyone stops at the same time, so they're not all clattering into each other like the Scooby-Doo gang. And he'll whisper very quietly, like you barely hear him. We're at the edge of where all this is kicking off.
Scarlett's gonna mumble to her mother, "Do you see what's up there?"
And you don't get a response right away, but then you do get that they she basically sees just that's what I'm looking for. She recognizes that she sees people or beings, but they're not. They're alive, but they're not. It's kind of the response you get.
She'll continue speaking out loud, but it's aimed at the mother because she doesn't fully know how to do it in her head yet. Good, then return to my side. She'll look at Neil. There are beings that are alive, but not up ahead. Mother Slave also says, other than that, nothing.
How many of them?
How many, Mother? Don't make me kill you again.
You're not under it. That's a bit strong. It's a bit strong, isn't it? Because he looks off.
Yikes.
She says that there were 5 or 6 of the larger ones. She didn't count the small ones.
She didn't count the small ones, but there's 5 to 6 of the large.
5 to 6. Sage nods. All right.
How big is a large?
You heard him, Mother.
She just kind of gestures around to the group and says, "People."
About our size.
That's not too bad at all.
If only we had a torch. Or flamethrower.
In a confined space, love. Bad idea. Particularly with our little pitching for a woohoo flame.
That's true. We just need to come back, send someone down here is spendable to handle it.
Yeah, but then we won't get the boon. Winks.
That is true.
Unless the expendables don't happen to make it back out of the tunnel while we're waiting at the end of it for them.
The smile she's giving Milan. I like you.
All right, I've got a plan. They're farther down that way, so they're either or they're waiting to hear us coming. Is he saying this now, keeping his voice delicately low? So why don't we make sure they hear us coming, but when they do, they're going to come running this way. We don't have to be in the exact same place now, do we?
Clever, clever. Not what I expected.
Guidelines, love. Always have a plan.
Milan
Taps the
unfolds
side of his head.
and checks to make sure there's a round in the chamber.
So, position yourselves in a place where you can't be seen. Start banging things, and then move. Fast as you can. When they come in running, come in swinging. You wink as he just steps off into the darkness.
Well, you heard the man. Wings the crowbar over her shoulder and starts sliding back down the other way.
She'll move to her own spot and she goes, I may not be as fast as you guys. Stop dawdling, mother, and come along.
A good place to position herself.
Milan's going to stand
Niles-
right in the middle of the pathway where he's at.
Now start loudly banging and start singing God Save the Queen. Once he hears the response, it'll echo throughout the tunnels. And then he'll move to another spot again and activate Obfuscate 1 and stand perfectly still right up against the wall.
As Niall's little crescendo starts going off as he's rattling around, screaming at the top of his lungs effectively, Ivy will make a good hefty swings at a few pipes and such, making a good metal clanging sound. Before again, Gummer's crossing over the opposite side on which he was hiding, find a nice dark spot, and before activating Obfuscate 1, pumping 1 blood into Dex, and then Obfuscate 1 in the darkness.
Out of character. I'm a vampire noob. What do you mean pumping blood into things?
She's putting blood points, Vate, into raising it temporarily.
Yep.
Is there a max for how much you can do that with?
I think it's whatever you have Vate-wise.
It is...
limited by your generation.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Scarlet will shake some of the pipes as she runs past them to make some noise, and she will hide as she pumps her own point of blood into dexterity also. Unlike you guys, she doesn't have any disciplines for that. So.
Yeah. But,
So Milan's going to kind of back up a bit so that he's still staying in the middle of the pathway, but backing up so that when these things come down the path, they're kind of encircled by everyone. but so that they have something they can see, which would be Milan.
Okay. All right. Everybody give me a perception alertness.
Wow. Holy crap, I got more than one success today on this roll. That makes me happy.
Bear with me here. I'm just a couple of people had some side messages. I'm trying to get you guys all on the same page.
That's not a problem. I mean, what we could do while we wait is we're all hiding and waiting for the enemies to come out after we lured them out, hopefully.
So while we're waiting, how is everybody doing tonight?
All right. Screaming at internet signal mostly, and watching the wind blow my shed around.
Pretty good here. Nothing crazy like wind sheds getting blown over.
Yeah, I have a crappy little shed that doesn't fully fall over when the wind blows it, but if it's a high enough pressure as the wind hits it, you'll see it just wobble to and fro.
Hooray. That sounds not at all disconcerting.
Meh. I can't afford to replace it, and my landlord's already told me not to bother, so. And then, of course, I've been dealing with Tom drinking rum.
What?
I mean, that just sounds like a delightful time. I don't know why you make it sound like a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Tiger knows.
Yeah.
It is known.
So how was your nap, Tiger?
Oh, I wasn't napping. I was at work.
The two don't have to be mutually exclusive.
I mean, you're not wrong. Unfortunately, today they were.
Alright. Very good. You see that last? Alright. Apparently, it didn't want to tell me you responded. Alright, so you guys hear a single set of footsteps coming towards you guys. There's Tiger ahead of you. You hear this loud banging. And you guys can vaguely make out a single form coming down the hallway towards you.
Help, my leg, I think it's broken.
The form is kind of making its way down slowly. It does not seem alarmed or really caring much that someone's leg is broken. But as it gets closer, you can see a fairly androgynous face that is glowing a very, very slight blue underneath its skin. And it's just dressed in a simple brown robe.
Can we all see this, John?
Yes, that's what you guys would all see coming at you.
May I roll an occult perception?
Sure.
Thank you.
Whatever it is isn't approaching aggressively at all.
No. He's just it's just got its hands in like the sleeves of its robe, just kind of walking around. Very casually.
Right. I don't know what your eyesight's like, but you probably have realized that Milan has a pistol pointed at your face.
6 successes in trying to figure out what this is by sight.
You'd say something supernatural, but beyond that, it's hard to say. There's no identifying features that you can point to.
From Milan, you would see behind the guy, you just see Niall literally go into existence with the fucking crowbar raised behind him. Like waiting almost for you to give the signal, essentially.
Milan looking at this. What are you doing down here?
This one was invited by the residents.
Which residents?
Oh, the ones that hide down here. The ugly ones, the Nosferatu.
Why did they invite you down here?
This one heard that there were some issues down here, so this one came to investigate and perhaps clear some poachers of this one's acolytes.
Acolytes? That's not a... What you think there? Arlo looks over at kind of rubbing his head at Milan. Acolyte sounds a bit suspicious, doesn't it, mate?
I never like anything that starts with "I lost my acolytes."
I like you, mate. Like you, mate. It's nodding sagely.
So tell me about these acolytes.
They are simply this one's followers.
Out of character. John, as a Tremere, would he have any idea or any guesses at what this is? I mean, I'm assuming he's a demon, but I don't know if Milan would know that or not.
How high is your Tremulor?
2, I think.
I'll let you roll it at a diff 8.
Yeah, 2. Just that, or am I mixing intelligence with it or anything?
It would be an intelligence and lore.
One.
One success.
Yeah.
You are not entirely sure, but you've heard of, the Shmitzi can create different types of creatures that may not be entirely human.
All right. Do you remember the name of the one who sent you down here?
Out of character, John was Zoria never given a name for.
Yeah, it would have been, you would have been given the name. So that was Detlov.
This one was brought down here by Detlov.
All right. I think he told us about you, but he didn't give us any real details. What's the role to decide if someone's lying or not?
You could do a perception empathy.
Okay, so perception by itself then. One.
He seems to be telling the truth.
Two, I guess that. Okay. All right. I believe you. Lowers the gun, but doesn't holster it. What have you found in here?
Rats, darkness, loud noises, and you lot.
What about the bodies that were up the way? Counted 5 of them. Now hasn't lowered the crowbar because no, creepy guy coming out of the tunnels going, "Hello, children." No. Paranoia is like on high tilt, so he's like, nah, he just doesn't strike it, but he's just watching him like a hawk.
Beneath this one's notice.
Almost popping out of the shadows off to the right a little bit. Also brandishing some form of crowbar / tire iron. Almost vibrating, essentially. So are we whacking this guy or not?
Tremere boy says he's all right, Ivy.
All right then. Just being sure, because I never know. You never know with these kind of people.
All right. Oh, I know enough. Tremere says it's all right.
Oh, Tremere.
So you make a good point. There were 5 or 6, and right now there's just the one. So where are the rest of them? Looking at Scarlet, is this one of the 5 or 6?
Scarlet will look to her mother. You heard him. Of course, looks like invisible air to you guys, unless Zorgan can see the dead.
Nope.
Your mother just kind of looks at you and then shakes her head.
Shakes her head no or yes.
No.
She looks over to Milan as she moves from her hiding spot and joins them. Mother says this is not one of them.
No, just give this kind of like nod, like, okay. Just watches her talk to herself in his mind, like, huh. All right then. Just kind of sage nods.
And the ease at which Milan is accepting the fact that she's getting answers for nothing.
Oh,
The
see,
Malkavian's just like, I should do this more often, man. Everybody will believe me.
Milan should have something as a Tremere that can make him see it.
There are probably
not likely
that they can
Not
do
this early in the game.
super new.
Yeah. Poor Milan.
Not yet. Not yet, anyway.
I only know of one Tremere path that lets them see the dead.
Pretty much.
Wouldn't high enough aspects let him see?
No, Aspects doesn't see.
Doesn't let you see spirits, but you could see auras.
Do spirits have an aura?
That's usually up to an ST.
Oh. That was my assumption.
Yeah. No, typically an aura read will not show you the aura of something, of a spirit.
Okay.
Or a wraith, which they are technically different.
True. So, she like looks over at Milan and y'all and goes, so, friend or enemy?
My judgment would be to say guarded.
I can do guarded. Guarded's alright for me.
Guarded is how you go to any party.
So, if you haven't seen the other 5 that were down here, I'm assuming they're down the other path.
That would seem logical.
Why don't you lead us down the other path?
Oh, put in the creepy guy from Aware in the shadows up in the front. It's not a good idea, mate. No, it's not a good idea. Put him in the middle.
My back.
I mean, you could get in the middle with him and stay at the back, but if we put him at the back, he could sneak off. And if we put him at the front, he could lead us into an ambush, mate. It's only logical. Put him in the middle. Middle's safe. We'll all see him.
I see what you're saying, but if we trigger an ambush, I would rather have the new guy be the one who triggers it.
Just kind of gives that wary, like, okay.
We already know that Mother, I guess, said that the other ones are that way.
And I can always send her or father forward again if you need.
Maybe we do that.
I mean, alright, I guess. Kind of. I don't know. I don't know how this works.
You're a Tremere, mate. He just gives you the sage nod, like, you probably know about more of this creepy underground shit than I ever will.
Yeah. You're with the one with all the things.
The wizard things? The things?
Look, I mean,
I don't know what they are, but the wizard things, the Harry Potter shit.
Look, little secret between you and me, Milan. The reason I trust in your word right now is because you're a high standard with the camera. And right now, it's a pretty good thing to go off.
So, I mean, if I'm making the decision, I think we send something to go scope out this other path and see if we can verify that that's where the things are.
Well, I think we have a winner.
She
Malfoy
starts.
has it.
She starts to. It looks like she's gonna lovingly caress her brooch again, and then she starts to squeeze it like she's gonna break it. She goes, "You heard the gentleman. Go forth."
Are you sending both of them, or
Just mother for now.
okay?
We'll keep father and his fire maker for a little longer.
Keeping an eye on the. I guess we need to get a name. What's your name? Looking at new guy.
This one is called Zoria.
Zorian.
What a pretty name.
What's your story?
What is yours?
I asked first.
And you also asked this one's name without introducing yourself.
You're right. That was rude. I'm Milan.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Milan. But no, I am simply here to get my followers and bring them back to the team safely.
How long have they been missing?
This one is not sure. Time tends to run down there.
So, Zorian, what exactly do you and your alkalites follow?
I follow no one. They follow this one.
Out of character. John, is that enough to identify?
I don't think it. I mean, it's not really going to tip you off to anything.
Okay.
Leans over to Ivy as they're all walking. That's Mouse Crowley shit.
So what?
Alistair Crowley, love. He was a Satanist.
Oh,
Really old one. He fought everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember. Oh.
She'll
Yeah,
kind of
she's a
look
book.
back behind to them and be like, "There's nothing wrong with worshiping yourself."
Oh, no. I'm just
no,
saying
no,
the
we did-
creepy...
we didn't say that.
No. Absolutely not. I worship myself daily, love.
Now that I've composed myself, she'll look over at him, scrunch her eyebrows, confused. She goes, "I didn't take you for any kind of religious views."
Well, good things come in religious surprises, as my mum used to say. Yeah, that's it. That's right.
I
Like the
thought the
Beckham
thing
stuff. Like the
was that
Beckham.
things come in small packages and she does a teeny tiny sign with her hand.
No. Just kind of gives her a frown, like, Well, I suppose if that's what you're immediately thinking of, but no, sadly, apparently, no. Just looks back at Ivy, like with the kind of the head tilt, like,
No? Catholics. You know how they get.
Nothing wrong with a Catholic either. I mean, unless you like growing up with the ruler.
Right. So, dodging any more awkward conversation while we stand here in this dark, damp sewer that smells obviously like shit. Has Mother gotten back to you?
No. I wonder what's taking her so long. Oh, Mother.
There's a slow kind of lean over to Niall as she calls out for Mother and whispering as much. What kind did she say she was again?
I don't know, love. Maybe she's one of the family.
Maybe.
It would explain a lot, really, when you think about it.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I mean, to each their own. I don't judge.
No, not at all. Of course
Shit.
not.
So at this point,
It's all
John.
part of the guidelines, love.
The spirit kind of comes back to you, but it's wispy and quite a bit weakened.
She
And
shoved
seems
past
kind
it
of-
all.
Kind of distorted, what's the word I'm looking for? Disoriented.
Return. I'm done using you for now. Consider your sentence 1/3 paid. You may rest. Something damaged, Mother.
About that time, you hear scraping footfalls coming down the hall.
Goddamn fuck Lucifer.
I mean, that's your kind of thing.
Well, I think we should, backpedal a bit, like.
Yes.
All right, clear and decisive. I like it. Just starts walking back down the way.
Milan unsheaths his knife now with the other hand.
Yeah, now with dexterity 5 now, boom, down the hallway essentially.
Oh,
Dex 4. Joy.
Milan kind of cracks her knuckles. Careful to avoid her spectral claw.
Can we see what's causing the footsteps?
It's still in the darkness, so it's a ways down yet. But you can make out a vaguely humanoid shape coming at you.
I'm gonna keep walking towards it.
Once everybody gets ahead of Niall will. They all go ahead. He looks back, sees the guy go into the shadows, and Niall just goes, "Fuck it," and obfuscates and stands still and listens.
Scarlet wants to stay close enough she can hear what's going on, but she doesn't want to be close enough to be struck at the moment. Because, it hurt a spirit. It could probably break her.
So Milan's going to advance with Ivy as well. With the heightened senses, can we tell that there's just the one of them?
Yeah, you only see detect the one coming towards you.
All right, we'll keep moving until something changes, I guess.
As you do get closer, the you see a person kind of shambling towards you, and you can see that the throat was cut.
Like shambling zombie style?
Right.
All right. Um, One tells it to halt. Not expecting it to, but he tells it anyway.
That's fair. It certainly does not.
All right, he shoots it.
All right. Feel free to roll a dex and firearms. Tiger, as it started to get closer, you can vaguely make out this was one of your acolytes.
Okay, okay.
You can clearly see his throat was cut, and now he is shambling towards you.
4 successes. And for pistol, it's just a straight damage, right? So this is 5.
It'll be 5 plus your numbers, plus your rollover.
Yeah, so you get 3 from your rollover, plus the 5, so you're rolling 8 damage.
Okay. Three.
3 damage?
Yeah.
With gunfire, and it gets a soak. And it does soak all of them. So you can see your bullet hit, but it doesn't seem to have even done any significant damage.
Zorian's just gonna keep walking towards it and tell it to stop.
And it does continue to shamble forward.
All right. Swinger.
What's the diff for a called shot?
Why not?
To
Alright, made 2 people there. So if someone's taking a swing with...
Yeah, with a crowbar. And I'll buff 1 more point of blood into my strength as well to impact the damage if I succeed. I do with 2 successes.
Alright.
So,
I remember crowbars with like strength plus 1, I think.
yeah, it's strength plus 1 then. So plus the successes then as well. So that is not a bad dice pool.
So,
I buffed that many the strength already. Plus 1. Plus that many, so it's that many dice.
just so everybody is aware, for the purposes of weapon damage and stuff, I generally refer to the Mage 20th edition because their charts are very expansive and detailed.
4.
That is lethal because it's a crowbar. It does soak 2 of them, but the hook on your crowbar kind of starts to tear the body apart a bit. And that you can see some damage caused by that.
Does it seem to slow it down any?
Not significantly.
Well, okay.
Yeah, Niall after hitting him, be like, "Fucking get him, lads!" You know what I mean?
Zorgan's just gonna step forward and do horrible Zorgan things, I guess.
Alright, so Julian was acting next.
Yeah. Why am I stupid? Okay. I got 1 success to do some bone crafting.
Alright. So you're bone crafting anything in specific on this thing, or?
Just kind of like reaching forward and grabbing what I can and giving it a good hard tug.
Okay. I mean, you can grab its hand, certainly. And so with 1 success, you definitely start to separate the bones in the arm. You're not able to draw them all the way out at this point, but you've definitely pulled them apart and made them non-functional.
Okay, cool.
Alright, who's next up? Who did we have act yet? So we still have...
Like, Scarlet stopped behind Neal when they backed away so she could watch and listen, which I'm preparing to take a shot. I just figured I'd let everyone who was closer go first.
Sure. And I want to...
Avalon.
Yeah, I'd say Avalon would be next on there.
Well, I suppose I will take a swat at this asshole with my claws here.
Alright.
So, see what my dex brawl is. Up my dex. 4, 7. Are you kidding me?
It's not a botch.
Oh, no, it's not. Right, so that's a swing and a miss.
So, while everyone's going, I guess, fucking buck wild on this thing, in that slight moment of pause, as Avalon goes in, swings and misses. The almighty Ivy will come in with this. But fuck it. Coming in with the crowbar, Dex melee, diff 7, because no melee. She fucking hits. And it is +1 for a crowbar, correct?
Yes.
Sweet. Strength 2, 1 carryover +1. Fucking 3. So, either way, while you're rolling the circle, whatever, while everyone goes in at this thing, that split second as Avalon goes, there's just this kind of like low pitch, kind of like as Ivy comes in, the 5'6" blue-haired menace that comes flying behind everybody with the crowbar kind of held in an odd way, almost like a child with a baseball bat. Just kind of swings and manages to cut it. A good fucking job, anyway. Pretty obvious she has no idea what she's doing. It's just, this is a heavy object and it hurts when I do this with it.
Poor, adorable zombies.
And it actually soaks it. Which then we will. I think Scarlet still is going to take a action.
Yeah, she was going to take a pot shot at it, aiming for the head, which I believe would be Dex firearms or strength firearms.
The Dex and firearms. And aiming for the head is a called shot. I want to say that moves it to diff 8.
So 3 Dex, 1 firearms. Because I put the point into Dex earlier. Well, I did have a success till one of those dice was a 1. So, fuck a duck. And I doubt I can spend a willpower on that, so.
Well, you had to declare it before you rolled.
Yeah.
So you shoot down the hallway and miss.
Goat probably goes zipping past Ivy's head.
And that moves it to this thing. And we have Zorian and Niall were the 2 that did anything. So it only has 1 arm, so it's going to try and take a swing at Niall first. Since you tore him open. He's not really a fan. Almost mix that up. Ouch. Jesus. So he has 4 successes to hit.
Oh boy.
Who's he hitting?
I think it's in me.
Correct.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Now,
Yeah, let's see how much he hits me with.
That will
Not a
be
sweet little psycho.
6 lethal.
Lovely. I will do my best to soak some of it off. I soaked 3 of it off, to be fair. I got 3 successes off 3 dice. Can't ask for much better than that. So I take a huge hit and bump into the wall going, oh yeah, motherfucker. Chest torn open, like, oh, fuck me.
Alright, then we will move back into all of your actions.
Are we going in that same order?
Yes, just for my own sanity, because we didn't roll it.
All right, so 2 successes, it looks like, for a called shot to the head.
Alright. And it's not dodging, so that hits. Headshot gives you 1 extra dice damage.
Two.
Alright. 2. So you do hit it in the head and blow a chunk of the head off. But it doesn't seem to be as phased as you would like.
All right. I will drop a willpower to ignore my wound penalties, and you know what? I'll copy Sir Tremir's lead. We'll take a aim shot at the skull.
Lady,
I'm swing and a miss. And I'll drop a blood point into the stamina because fuck it, I'm gonna need it.
Alright. And I believe Zorian acted you.
Yeah. I'm gonna continue following the lead of the other 2.
I thought you were going to tell me you're just going to rip his skull out.
That's the plan. 4 successes.
And that's with your that's 4 successes for your discipline, correct?
Correct.
That's probably gonna be pretty effective. Yeah, I'm gonna say go ahead and narrate how you go about that.
So Zorian just kind of grabs forward, like kind of just grabs its forehead in its own hand, and then says, "This one apologizes, former follower," and then just rips the skull out of its head.
So, and you guys actually see the flesh part, and the bone is like reshapes itself to pull out. And needless to say that the thing, whatever it is, kind of slumps. You don't think it's actually even fully dead, despite the damage, but it is definitely not moving. And you hear a voice echo down the tunnel. And it says, "It's not nice to destroy others' playthings."
It is not nice to make playthings out of another's followers.
And then you hear the voice, and it says, it kind of, for a second, it's quiet, and then it says, "As you say, a thrall then for a thrall." And you hear a crack of a whip and footsteps running towards you.
Okay, so this is going to be fun.
Can we see what's running towards us?
Yeah, it not right away, but after a second out of the darkness, you see just a like a regular guy come running out. He's got a sort of a serpent-like bracelet around his wrist, and some unusual tattoos.
Does anybody care if I try something? Or does someone else want to try something first?
Go for it.
Yeah,
All right,
go
John,
for it.
I'm going to activate Dominate and yell nil. I will make a roll for that. Just give me a minute to look it up.
Is it command?
What'd you say?
Was it command, sorry?
I'm dominating them.
Right. Yeah, rank 1 command would probably be sufficient.
Yeah.
Command, dominate, one word. Top of my head, manipulation, intimidation.
Yep.
Sounds right.
Difficulty is their current willpower, so it'd be a diff 4.
Okay, so manipulation, intimidation, and can I burn a willpower for this?
Oh, you can.
I want to spend 1 willpower for this also. One, two. So counting the willpower, 3 successes.
And as he actually drops to his knees, and as he does so, because he was running so fast, he basically flies forward on his face.
Where does he stop sliding?
Probably 10 feet or so from you. Just behind the body of the thing that's finally starting to stop twitching.
Zorian's just going to move over to the now kneeling person, lean down, and say, "Now stay here, or this one will do to you what it did to that." And he'll point at the zombie corpse. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll manipulation and intimidation. What would be the difficulty on that?
Are you actually dominating, or is it more of just a force of will?
I'm just doing force of will.
Okay. Then we're going to give him a diff 6.
Okay. Does my persuasive spec count?
I would say so.
Cool. Well, that 10 doubles, I got 1 success, but there's also a 1, so I don't know how you want to do that.
Yeah, I'll give you one of them.
Okay.
Because I usually double 10s first and then subtract 1s. Simple successes.
Sick.
And his willpower is relatively broken, so he doesn't even try and fight back. He just kind of crawls towards you further.
Oh, and hold this, please. And I'm just gonna hand him the skull.
He just kind of takes it and he's looking almost in shock. Note that he stayed on his knees the whole time.
Scarlett's gonna put her pistol away and look at Neil and go, "Okay, that was a little easier than I thought it'd be."
Yeah, love. Totally easier than you thought. Yep. Mm-hmm. I got
Pull the guy's skull off.
yeah. Yeah,
Right now?
totally.
That's not normal. Look. Oh, look. I've seen some shit. All right, but all right. Well, you know that he's on our side right now. That's gonna be real fucking good.
Perhaps we should wrap this up. It seems your dear Neil is Are you?
I'm fine. Oh no, I'm fine. Just getting your
Oh
chest
God,
punched in, caved in.
Oh God.
Oh no, I'm fine, love. I'm all right. It's
Through
fine.
your shirt and everything.
I know.
Oh.
No. Hang on. Just rubs her head, kind of the back of her head affectionately. Walk over to Tears for Fears, man, as Niall's calling him for the rest of the scene. And you go, will you hold open his mouth? I want to ask him something. But first, we gotta apply some serum, if you get my meaning, mate.
Oh, is he talking to me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Okay. This one was going to speak with that one, and Zoran will point down where the voice was coming from. But I suppose.
Oh, well, you can speak with that one as well. I just want to make sure this one's nice and compliant when we question him, mate.
Zoran will nod and lean down and just kind of casually put its hand into the man's mouth and pull it open.
No.
Roll, but
Oh yeah. And once he's doing that, Niall will casually touch into the cavity of his chest with the crowbar and just kind of gently scrape up some of the blood and just let it drip open into the guy's mouth. Very, very casually.
Scarlett actually looks away as you do this process.
What we in Clan Malkavian call the universal key, mate. Opens every door. Does. Turn back and winks at Ivy. Yeah, and once the process is done, he'll turn back to the ladies, behind him. There's a fella down there. You probably want to keep a hold on him. That one can answer our questions a bit more pliantly now, at least.
Lady Flynn, would you like to be in charge of this prisoner? If Holly can hear me.
I can hear you. Repeat.
She was asking if Flynn wanted to be in charge of the person we just fed Niall's blood to and captured.
I don't want to be anyone's prisoner. What?
Or do you want to take charge of the prisoner?
Oh.
Oh, see, I was trying to find you
No.
something to do where the dice would not bite you in the ass.
Oh, I'm sure they will, but sure, Avalon will give a nod and deal with it.
Scarlett's also gonna rip the skirt part of her dress she had tucked into her shorts off and offer it to Niall. You don't want to get this water in that.
Oh, thanks, love. Just gives her a smile as he's patting down, zips up the jacket and everything. Oh man, it went right through and everything. Oh, fuck's sake.
Poor little adorable Malkavians. They just wanted a nice day.
Then, as people are moving off, Niall will go and check on Ivy essentially and just stand there and kind of, make sure she's all right more than he is.
Tore a guy's head off. Head?
He did.
Clean off.
It's all right. Yeah, no, he did. He did. It's all right.
Doesn't work like that.
It's all right. Well, he did hit him pretty hard, love. And I hit him pretty hard too. You saw that. I smacked him pretty hard.
Hey, even I managed to hit him.
Oh, you did? No, it was great. It was like a golf swing. It was like Tiger Woods, love.
Tiger Woods.
Oh, yeah, that was really professional.
Puts the crowbar over his shoulder.
Tiger Woods, love.
Hand on hip.
See? Even... Actually, no. Yeah, it was like Tiger Woods, love. It was very professional. It's like you were swinging away your divorce, marriage, and everything.
Is he divorced now?
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
I read it in the paper, love.
Oh. All right, fair enough. So, what are we doing now?
Well, I just made sure he's playing. I don't know where the fuck he's going, pointing after Zoran.
I don't know,
Should we follow them?
I don't know, glowing blue spark kind of has me, creeped out a little bit.
Probably should, yeah.
All right, I'm not going to say no. I mean, why not? Having a great time so far.
As she passes by Ivy and Niall to follow, she will put a little wrapped chocolate in Ivy's hand and will keep walking.
Just kind of looks down, looks at her, looks down. Look at that, Niall, free food.
Leads in. Gotta make sure, though, love.
Oh, yeah. Puts it in one of her pockets. I know.
Guidelines, love, remember.
I know. Right, so, are we moving?
Oh, yeah.
Assume you guys are walking. Zoya and you had a significant lead. You get up to a smaller room. And there's a man standing there. Although he looks like he was preparing to leave. There's a couple of bodies on the floor and two other people that he sends ahead of him. And he turns around, fairly pleasant voice, and he says, "Oh, good evening. I wasn't sure if you would come down for a chat, or if you would take your new one and go with that for now."
This one would prefer words before action.
He folds his hands and kind of nods his head towards you, and he said, "A respectable decision, one not often practiced of late, it seems."
Do you have any more of this one's followers?
He looks and says, "Sadly, your followers, it seems, were not clearly marked. So I cannot say for certain, with the religious conflicts being rather extensive, finding good faithful is not as easy as it once was. If you are able to provide me with some identifying trait, we can find out. Otherwise, I can perhaps at least direct you to where I've had success."
How many are down here?
He looks around and he says, "Well, down here I have none. This is a workspace, as it were, but that would just be, well, it'd be rude to the faithful to keep them in such squalor. They have earned their rewards, and they should receive them in a place of some luxury."
Perhaps you should teach a bit more loyalty in yours. The last one I had, well, did not take much for him to scream all your secrets.
Hmm.
He kind of folds his hands, like fingertips to fingertips, and taps them, and he says, "Well, that is odd, because until the one I gave you, I had not lost any." He kind of starts tapping his lips, and he says, however, we did have another, one of our newer clergymen, Azra, who lost a couple of his faithful. In fact, had even lost one who was supposed to serve him as a apprentice clergy himself. He kind of shakes his head and he says, "It's such a challenge to find those who are both faithful and competent sometimes."
For you, perhaps.
This is true. It may not be universal, and again, I say sometimes, but it seems to be more common of late. And then he stops and he says, Where are my manners? I am known among my people and among the temple as Serapis."
This one is called Zorian.
Well, Zorian, you seem to be a far more reasonable leader. But men like myself, leaders such as you, we are not as common as we need to be among the faithful. Many are led under false promises, gifts and guarantees of things that will happen in the next world with no tangible proof that will come. In my experience, when one has their faithful, those faithful must be rewarded, not so they remain faithful, it is not a bribe, but in recognition of the commitment they've given. And if I have disrupted that process with your faithful personally, I apologize. And if you'd like, I can arrange for you to meet with myself at the temple and our other priests, and should some among your flock have been wrongfully drawn over to ours, we can return them, and of course we will make recompense as well.
And how can this one guarantee that this will not happen in the future?
He gestures to the one he sent to you down the hall, and he says, well, our faithful tend to use marks. Many use tattoos. Others use jewelry. Some sort of symbol so that we know you are an ally to the temple and not a foreign preacher that seeks to undermine us. We can recognize other faiths so long as they don't conflict with us. And we recognize that we have inadvertently created that conflict this time.
Out of character, if anybody else wants to hop into this conversation, feel free. I don't want to like hog the scene or anything.
Right now, Scarlet is silently listening to her bullshit meter and trying not to roll her eyes while watching the exchange.
I just imagine all of us bursting in, like, Scooby Gaga. Ah! Oh, hi.
Well, while this is happening, it just goes on, and the talking. Just Ivy simply just pulls out her phone, takes a picture of him and the two talking, slides it back in her pocket. It's like, oh. Remains silent in the back of the room.
Zorian's going to walk towards the man and hold out its hand and say, I understand this is what is done when an agreement is made, yes?
He nods and says, I believe that is the local tradition. We have others, but for proximity and time, that will suffice, I imagine. And he holds his hand out to you.
Zorian's going to reach and go for what seems to be a friendly handshake, and if he accepts, I'm going to try and rip his arm off.
Okay.
Oh.
Do I need to roll a manipulation?
No, I would allow the just the roll. I mean, you're just gripping it. That's perfectly reasonable.
Okay. So go ahead and roll for terrible things.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and find the other book I had open that I apparently closed for no apparent reason.
I'd like to spend a willpower if I may.
Sure, why not?
Alright. I got 7 successes with the willpower.
Alright, well, that's rather significant.
Hmm.
He, looks at you as the bones separate. And he says, well, that's going to be rather problematic.
Am I just like holding his arm in my hand now?
Yeah, it pretty much just separated off.
Okay. Zorian's just gonna look at him and see if he does anything in response.
He takes out a small what looks like a coin and flips it to you. And he says, I would hope that you come and visit and we can arrange a more effective form of payment.
Zorian will just pocket the coin into the folds of his robe, and then just start walking back with the arm in hand.
I feel oddly more at peace with how my family is now.
The as Zorian starts to walk away, these priests missing an arm turns and heads towards the stairs.
No, just kind of stares at this thing that just happened. Just doesn't even just looks. Was that sort of some sort of secret handshake, man?
I wouldn't know about these things. She like motions between the guy leaving and then Zorian.
For all intents and purposes, if anybody looks over at Ivy, it's just this face.
I think that's the whole party's face at the moment.
Because he ripped off his arm and he tossed him a coin. Who does that?
Very, very odd, fanatical people.
Are we done? Is it over?
I think we're done. I need.
Okay.
I think this is the first time in my life I felt like I needed a drink.
All right.
Fuck
Okay.
It's like, hey, bro, there's your arm. Oh, thanks, bro. Here's the coin, mate. No problem.
I
See you
mean-
later. Drinks.
That's cool and all. That's great. Now I'm uncomfortable, and that just, yeah.
Can we get out of the nightmare now?
I mean, it's not a nightmare. It's just weird. It's really fucking weird. Like he's got, like, is Zoyan coming towards us or with this arm, or is he just which direction is he going, Tiger?
Zorian is going back towards the direction with the prisoner. So if you guys are in that
So
direction,
yeah, so that back into that direction. So you start walking towards us. You walk past Irish. Come on, what?
he offered recompense. This
What?
one wanted his arm.
You know what? I'm not questioning it at all.
Oh,
It's just not what I had in mind.
Avalon seems to be having a whispered conversation with said prisoner.
Well, we're making all kinds of friends this evening, aren't we? Is what she's going to say as soon as they see Avalon.
Well,
Avalon kind of glances at them, but her focus still returns to the conversation that she's having.
you know, we all
Whispers.
get to the prisoner as Avalon is probably whispering. I don't know what the fuck she's saying. But
Sweet nothings
you know, with
your shinies.
as the Mr. Iron Man and Niall and the rest of the gang arrive at the prisoner, Niall, looks at Zordon and just be like, "All right, mate. Before this gets any weirder and any more Looney Toony, you have your what was it you said? Recompense. Yeah, that was the word. We kind of need that guy to go back to our people and be like, this is the person and blah 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 blah. But you have your arm, you see. So hear me out now. We take him. You take the arm and the coin, and we call it even 50-50.
This one has no interest in that one. Do what you want with it.
That's great, mate. And I'm happy you got the arm, mate. I was rooting for you the whole time, mate. And whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, do you have to open carry that thing, just there? Do you have a towel or a bag?
Ivy, it's rude to point out the arm off.
It's right there. It's right there. Come
It's
on.
like a
I can see the bone.
Maybe that's part of his thing. Maybe that's part of their.
Cool. That's cool and all, but
Just don't be rude to
all
him.
right, I'm not. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. I just not every day you see somebody's arm get ripped off or the skull pulled out.
This one apologizes if it has caused you any distress.
Oh,
Zorian, as he just kind of casually slides the arm into his robe.
Oh.
Oh, well, you know what? Apology accepted. That's great. That's real great. So, I think we have proof enough that there's something down here.
Yeah, no, I think it's beyond the guidelines, mate. I think we're fine, yeah.
Poor Ivy, as all Scarlet says after she mutters, and here I thought, seeing human meat and bones would be over after my nightlife.
So, turns to Why don't we kick him back to the kicks his fingers about 5 times. The what's his name? Nos man.
Yes.
Deadman. That's the one. Deadman.
Yeah. The more tolerable of the big wigs.
We'll put this guy in the boot. It's fine. Don't worry about him.
Great. So, are we taking the arm to him? Is that a thing you plan on doing, Zoyan?
Oh,
Is
no.
yeah, the arm's kind of like a big thing at the minute.
Zoran's just trying to like keep it under wraps, as it were. Like he's got it under his robe, but it's pretty clearly poking out, and he just kind of looks down at itself. And
I can't help but. Sorry. Just imagine Zoyan with a huge trench coat just slowly slides his arm into it. I have
pretty
no-
much.
But yeah, is that a thing? Are you just gonna keep that mounted over?
Spending a willpower because they say.
This one's not sure what it will do with it. Perhaps a cane. Or a sword.
Oh.
Willpower.
Oh.
Oh,
You make things out of meat?
We're going to go.
I think. Yeah. You know what?
Well, that's not the weirdest thing made out of humans I've heard about. And she will follow y'all and Ivy out.
Zorian will just kind of call after the rapidly, fleeing group. Have a pleasant evening. It was pleasurable to meet you all.
You too, mate. It's like practically running.
A pleasure.
Maybe we should do this again sometime. Yeah.
This is what
You're.
enjoy that.
Look forward to seeing you again, Zorian.
Scarlet is totally whispering to Avalon. I feel like Zorian would fit right in at a family cookout.
As we descend back to the car, we all get in. Locks it. Double locks it. Unlocks it. Locks it.
Ivy running off and Scarlet clearly is. What's Avalon doing in all this?
So I guess we're headed back to the Nasi. That is John.
And it's a relatively short trip. You guys don't go back to the house. Detlef had left some contact information. The house was just being used temporarily, or the manor. But he directs you to a dispatch building for a cab service.
Yeah, we pull up, take the guy out of the boot, march in. Niall double checks, triple checks, looks around, nods to himself, opens the door.
Hello?
And the dispatcher who's working there just kind of points and says, Boss's office is through there. Second door down. Head down the stairs.
Oh.
Oh.
Thank you. Quick now, get it in.
What an efficient and kind person, she says as she follows them to the office.
Leads the guy in, you know, with the threatening line of, "Now, mate, I'm gonna count down from 13. I know it's not an even number, but if you make me count down all the way from 13, I'm gonna bash your fucking." As he's leading him down the stairs.
Yeah, and when we find the door to the boss's office, Ivy will wrap her knuckles on it.
And you get a fairly gruff that says, "Come on in."
She slowly opens the door to reveal all of them kind of stood there awkwardly with this random guy. Hello, steps in. So we got a not entirely solved, but definitely progress on the issue detailed as of earlier.
He just looks and says, "What would these sort ofs be?"
Kind of turns around to look at the guy that they brought with them.
Well, mate, this guy is the acolyte of another guy who got his arm ripped off by another guy named Zordian.
Dorian.
Thank you. They're apparently all having some weird little group gathering meeting in the middle of here. Ivy has a picture of it and all. They seem to be operating around that area. Now, they made another thing, which is kind of like a zombie, which explains, zips open the jacket, the hole in his chest area. We managed to kill it. We brought this guy for interrogation purposes, seeing as you probably want to know exactly what he's doing. But it seems to me they're recruiting people down there and using them to spread around your sewer area.
And Ivy just pulls up her phone and shows him a picture of the guy, and so I'm talking.
And Detlef just kind of looks at it, and then he rubs his forehead. And he says, "I don't know this guy, but this guy's an incandescent blue skin. And having a photo of that on your phone might just be a problem. We generally don't like photographic evidence."
I know, but it's further proof of what's going down there. As soon as you've seen it now, that's it. And she just deletes it right in front of him. That's all. It served its purpose.
Well, so what you're telling me is somebody is using part of my sewers. They're killing shit down there. They're apparently using it once it's dead. For God only knows what. But they seem to be expanding too, using my space.
Yeah, that pretty much covers it.
And this fella should know at least some details on where we can find these guys.
He should have at least something. He seems to be there when the person was obviously doing some sort of weird experiment on him. So if you can get into his mind, which I imagine you can quite easily, you be able to piece together the pieces. Even a broken fragment can rebuild itself in some level.
He says, "Well, I think that's at least reasonable grounds for figure out what the hell is going on. In which case, you've got maps of the region already, so that's step one of the deal. Step two, I will make sure to get the rest of the clan informed on your situation here and their right to access. And I will make sure to relay to the Seneschal that you collectively are owed the as promised minor boon from Clan Nosferatu. Is there any other business that we have today?
If I could just make one small request, sir. Just for references, I have that last one in writing.
He says, you'll understand if I can't word it quite like that if we're writing it down.
Just an IOU with your signature will do.
Fair enough.
And she, in fact, pulls out a small notebook from the inside pocket of her leather jacket. The opposite side pulls out a pen, flicks it open to about the middle way, and just places it down on the desk in front of him. Puts her hands behind her back and just smiles.
He writes up a IOU and signed Detlev, and it says, he notes on it, it says, per the research contract. So it's just so we have some documentation on which part was resolved.
Of course. No, thank you so much. Now, I have no further business. I'm not going to speak for anybody else here, but if that's all, I don't want to take up any more of your time, sir.
At this point, Scarlet will pull small business cards out of her bag and she goes, my only other business was to invite everyone to the grand opening of my establishment.
Oh, well, thank you very much, love. I have no further business. And yep. Just does the awkward, like, hey, back up, bumps into the wall and kind of rolls out the back door, essentially. Like, whoop.
Anyway, she gave everyone a business card.
Okay.
Detlev kind of looks at it and he says, something tells me I might not fit in real well.
We have special events just for you, sir. At the evening, only VIPs are welcomed, and you are a VIP.
Yeah, nods and says, well, I'll bear it in mind and see what my schedule consists of.
After she's given everyone a card and said farewell, she will leave the room.
Okay.
And Detlev just kind of looks around and he says, anything I can do for the rest of you?
Nope, I am perfectly happy, sir. And we'll just back out of the room. tipping the bowler hat off.
Thank you for your time.
What are we gonna do with this guy? She motions towards the prisoner.
Oh, he's his. Yeah, I mean, let's leave that with him. Don't worry about that. Don't think about it. Just did you take what you wanted off him?
I have this.
All right. Well, slowly starts walking out.
Yep.
All right, assuming everyone heads out and leaves the new guy behind. Detlav will thank you guys again and says, for anyone who does need a ride, you can ask dispatch for a cab. Tell them it's on me. And we will take you anywhere within the city limits, no charge.
All right. Well, assuming obviously Niall and Ivy make their way back up to the fucking Peugeot.
Yeah.
She, of course, gets in the passenger seat, unless anybody's stopping them on the way there.
Yeah, pretty much. They're kind of heading towards their car.
Scarlet will wave goodbye to them as she pulls out her phone and calls her family to come and get her.
Alright. Everybody's kind of heading back home. Anything else anyone wants to do before I wrap her up?
Everyone's gonna walk back to her shop.
Alrighty. If we need to wrap any of the other stuff up there, Holly and Blue Book, we can, just to make sure you finish that conversation. Alright. So I think everyone's dispersing.
Okay.
And so we will wrap it up there. This has been another Nightfall in Amsterdam, a vampire edition. Thank you, players, for playing, and any watchers for watching. We look forward to seeing you again. Will be after downtime, which starts Friday. Thank you.